Okay, here we are again. It's important that you get the duct tape out and wrap it around your head because it's going to explode one more time. Oh, I'm excited to show you another kind of list that we want you to save for recruiters. Well, I shouldn't say that actually. For people who are currently hiring. All right. So remember, I know this is a lot. Please just bear with me. Follow along and go do this in real time, like I mentioned in the last video. Come into your Sales Navigator. Okay, remember, where you're doing your lead lists, this is where you're saving your first level people. In your saved searches is where you're saving the stuff that we're going to import for the new connections that we're going to be adding, recruiters, hiring managers, etc. That's where we're going right here, save searches. First, we start off with all filters. Okay, it looks like this collapsed. Open it up like this. Let's say you are looking for opportunities in California. As you know, the running total will populate here as we go. Now, here's the big epiphany. In quotes, see here? Want you to put in the words, in quotes, currently hiring. And in capital, some keyword that would be similar to what you put in with when you're doing the recruiters. Here's the difference though. They don't have to be a recruiter. This guy, James, he's a trash warrior. He's head of operations. But we're saying he has to have this currently in his profile. So if you go here, look, right there. What's great about this is he doesn't say what he's hiring for. Excellent. That means it's a blank canvas of possibilities. No reason not to send him a message. We go back. All of these people are heads of operations. I put in operations, so that may be one of the reasons why it's pulling up all these people with the title of operations, but that's not necessarily where the word operations needs to connect to. Again, we're hoping that a lot of these people I would assume are recruiters who focus on filling jobs in operations or manufacturing or C-suite or financial or technology. You get the point? So you can use any of these things that you've come to learn and understand how to use, okay, if you want. But, you want a decent number here because there's no harm sending out a message to all of these people, especially when, this person that's the head of people operations. We're currently hiring passionate folks to join us in our mission. And here's a link. Okay, so, I don't know, right? We're not going to go look at each one of them, but my sense is most of them have this kind of general thing like that. So here's what's going to happen. Now, look at this, okay? I have United States in here. I guess it just popped in. So that number is bigger now. Notice one thing I did here was I put in technical recruiter, and then I clicked the no, so it would reject technical recruiters. That was when I was actually looking for the type of job where technical recruiter I know would come up, but they really aren't. I can almost guarantee they're not going to have the job that would be a fit. So I just plugged that in for this. You'll have to think through that and decide if there's anybody by a job title or some other kind of criteria that you might want to reject to make this list better. I don't know, right? You could certainly say, okay, out of this number, if you went in and said the person who's in here has to be a senior level person or a C-level person, you could choose any of these if you want it, but I'm saying I'm going to keep it like this. And remember, In quotes has to say currently hiring, and then in capitals is what you have to put before you put in your keyword here. And you could, for example, say and operations and manufacturing. I mean, okay, just go with it. See what happens. Okay, so 229 of these people have the words currently hiring, and they have the word operations and manufacturing both in their profile somewhere. So that might be like, yeah, that's killer. What do you do now then? You save this search and you call it currently hiring operations and manufacturing, okay, something like that, and save it so that we know to pull it over. Now, it's 229 because we have both of these in, right? But if I was really just targeting California, okay, we should get rid of that. Okay, so now we're down to 55. Now remember how we talked about earlier, these slices of the pie and all that in the other video? We could just say, yeah, let's save this 55 and call it California, right? So save this search, currently hiring, operations, manufacturing, CA, California. If we think that there's going to be a message that would be different to people who are directly in California. Now, that's what you should put in if you're not interested in a job that is in a different state, for example. You could put in words like remote. Okay, in California, remember, if we just got rid of technical recruiter, so that was 66, so what was that? That's like nine technical recruiters are in here somewhere. That's probably fine because, again, it's not actually something I'm worried about anymore. But currently hiring and the words remote. All right, I'm curious. Many remote friendly roles across multiple product lines. Look at that. I mean, look, I don't want to say we're geniuses, but we're geniuses. This is brilliant. And so we're going to take advantage of this. So I think that's money right there. Save that search. California, currently hiring, remote. Save. Okay, I don't care how many you parse out here. If you feel like that's really good, and just leave it just generic like that, because remember, I'd rather send a message out to more people and have them go, oh, well, we're just recruiting in this particular area. Okay, fine. But versus now saying, and putting in manufacturing or whatever, I think the broader, the better, at least if we're in a smaller geographical area where we're only going to get a number like that. I wouldn't add in anything more to narrow this list down. You got to have at least something like that, or it's not even worth doing what I'm showing. With your geographical area and maybe company headcount, go in if you know for a fact you're not interested in companies this size. Okay, good. Plug in the ones that is the range that you are interested in and let that be part of it. But, if we're saying currently hiring and remote, then why wouldn't we say United States, right? I mean, that's a no-brainer. Think of any of these others. Now, if this number was really big, I mean, it's obviously not because it's just that with just United States, and I don't think there's anything else that we have in here. I just thought of something. I'll bet, how many are going to be people who, I mean, isn't insurance like always hiring? They'll take anybody. You know what I mean? So we could, in fact, do something like, say, not insurance. You go from 4,000, look, 500, at least 500. I just weeded out, hopefully, a lot of the straight commission insurance type positions. What I want you to do is I need you to play with this. Certain kinds of phrasing, remote, not insurance, and this in quotes, so that you get a pretty decent list. What I was going to say is, if this was a big enough one, you could go in and check for people who are currently hiring and, went to University of Phoenix or something like that. So I was just trying to think of another way to really zero in so that you could use both of those as something to send out on. All right, now I want to show you something. You'll save this search, US, exactly like we just said. Now check this out. We're going to import your 291 into our tool, and then we're going to use our tool to actually get the email address of every one of these people. How can you do that, Rhett? That's impossible. Exactly. We have the ability to get not every single person, but a good chunk of the people on this list, even though, first of all, it's impossible to even get your first level connections email address, by the way. You'd have to literally go to each profile one at a time. We have the ability to do that, but we also have the ability to pull this list and get the email address of all these people. So check it out. We're going to put together an Excel spreadsheet of this group. We're going to send it to you. You're going to do a mail merge in your Outlook or Gmail or whatever you use for your email, and you're going to send out 291 emails. So we're not even going to screw around with sending invitations to connect to all these people. Since time is of the essence, we're going completely outside of LinkedIn and doing email campaigns. Yes, come on. Tell me that's not exciting and brilliant. It's so cool. This is the deal. Come up with your combinations. Talk to your coach. Figure out if what you've got in there. I'm sure when you have a coaching session, you'll go in, you can show your coach what you came up with, and they'll kind of look it all over with you and true it up a little more depending on what the numbers look like, and just confirm that, it looks right. But add that to your saved searches so that in here you've got your multiple levels of hiring managers that we just did in the last video, and then all of the recruiters that we just talked about, and then this group now that's not really recruiters, but we'll just call them hiring managers because that's what they are since they're currently hiring. I'm just very excited about this for all of you and excited to put these processes in place and see what the results are as we continue to forge forward. Thank you very much.